So this project is supporting disadvantaged young women through vocational training and job placement. The location is Vietnam, and the aim is to transform the lives of disadvantaged women in Vietnam via a range of skills training from web design to hairdressing, plus job placement and follow-up support. The organization being represented is called REACH, and the team leader who's here today, who will be speaking on behalf of her team, is Pham Thi Ngoc Mai. So
Thank
please,
you.
over to you.
Good morning, everyone. To begin with, I would like you to meet Mai. It is said that having basic education is an entitled right to everyone. But for Mai, going to school has never been an option. It's because of two reasons. She has no hands at all, and her parents are poor. With limited income, her parents has no choice but to put the priority on their other three normal children. Mai wasn't sent to school. At the age of 24, she has no qualification, no jobs. Now, looking back at the larger picture, according to the most updated statistic of the International Labour Organization, half of the unemployed people in Vietnam are under the age of 25. And for every 5 university graduates, one of them is out of jobs. So do you think people like Mai, having no qualification, they are from disadvantaged background, they are school dropouts, they are from poor family, some of them are human traffic victims, they are living with HIV/AIDS, and some of them having no choice but decide to become industrial sex worker. Do you think they stand any chance to become employed in this very competitive labor market? Can Mai find a job that she likes? Can all of that happen in 4 months' time? At REACH, the answer is yes. What we do is quite simple. We have 3-month vocational training and 6-month job placement. We have different training areas, including hairdressing, web and graphic design, food and beverage, sales and marketing, and nail art. And after the student graduate, we help them to find job. We believe that if the disadvantaged young women, if they can have job skill and have a job, it's very important for them because it helps them to stand on their own feet and help their family in the long run. And toward the purpose, our success, the success of the recruitment rate of our students so far is more than 80%. Within the students get job within 6 months after their graduation. How can that be possible? How does the model work? That's 80%. How does the model work? Firstly, we match the training to an industry need. And secondly, we train the student what they need at workplace. We teach them professional skill and also life skill to build their confidence, their self-esteem, and to make them have very good work habits. And we also provide English training to focusing on the English training competency in that targeted occupation. And thirdly, as I said before, we have 6 months support to our students after they graduate. We provide them internship and the field trip so that they can get real experience in their future workplace. And without this 6 months support, all of the training that I mentioned about doesn't make any sense at all. And so far, the most important key factor for our model is that we have intensive participation from the business network. The business network, they help us in building, providing internship opportunities and job placement. That's the most important thing. But besides, they help us in improving our training curriculum and being our guest lecturer. This is how we connect to the business and get them involved in our program. So you may wonder, how does the story end? The story of Mai. Mai came to REACH 2 years ago, and now she has jobs. She's a web and graphic designer. You can see in her profile from no job to jobs and from And with no qualification, she is now a qualified web and graphic designer. And I can tell you that my story hasn't ended. It's just a new chapter of her life. And all the material we need for that chapter is 3-month vocational training, 6-month job placement, a practical training program, and a good connection with the business network. And what else? 25,000 grand, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Mai, for the excellent presentation. Judges, what do you think? Questions?
I have a question. How are the students actually selected?
So we have 17 criteria to select the student. So our students coming from different backgrounds, they are school dropout from poor family, human trafficking victim, sex worker. So we have total 17 criteria to select the student. So we work with different development organizations like the Blue Dragon, the social crime organization. So they work in the same area. They're helping the same people as us, and we cooperate with them, and they provide other like the shelter or skills shelter or health consultation, and we provide vocational training and job placement.
Thank you.
Other questions? Patricia?
So it's a wonderful presentation, a really great story. So I see that one of your funders is Plan. So how will this money, this additional $25,000, how will that help you? How will you use those funds?
So with the 25,000 grant, we will have 50 disadvantaged young women to get jobs. There's a wide range of career they can choose from, but most of them, they choose hairdressing, nail art, and web and graphic design. So we help them to gain job skill and also help them to find job and make sure that they can keep their job within 6 months after their graduation. Because we think that if they can stay in the job in 6 months, they can stay in the job longer.
So this will help you take in more students, more women.
Yeah, more students and more women.
Maybe I can ask one question.
Yep.
So in the long run, what is your ambition? Do you think you will always need support from some organization like in this competition? Or will you refine the model at some point you don't have to waste time flying out like this, you can just run your business and somebody in the business is paying?
Actually, your question is the challenge that we are meeting right now. As you know, Vietnam is becoming a middle-income country, and a lot of foreigners are withdrawn from Vietnam and change their focus to another country. So we are thinking about from a non-profit, we're changing to a social enterprise, because our strength is to provide vocational training and skill training for youth. So instead of providing it free, we will develop a new scheme that we will provide training and skill training to youth who can afford the cost. So we will use all the revenue back to support those who don't have enough money to use our service.
Okay.
How have you or how do you see involving some of the graduates of this program to serve as mentors or even instructors in future of kind of next generation students that'll go through the program?
Can you?
Sorry, so you'll have people that go through the program like Mai.
Yeah.
And a year from now, is there a plan or an idea to get people like Mai to be like a mentor or a trainer for the next round of students?
Yeah, we have the Alumni Club. So besides the scope of the 6-month follow-up, we have the Alumni Club for the students who graduate more than 6 months. So the students come back to us and they participate in our program. They even help us in doing mobilization. And we have different activities for them to get involved in, and this is how we can create the network of our alumni. They support each other. And one thing, we think that's one of the things that help the student follow our program for 3 months, and and stay with us in the future because of the connection between the alumni. They both from a difficult background and they share the same experience. So they meet each other. They see that they're not alone and that many people like them also have difficulty. And this is how they feel more positive about life.
Lawrence?
It's back to the question of what difference this grant is going to make. So currently you're serving how many women and how's that funded, and this is just going to fund the 50 more?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing? Is there anything that you're going to do that's different from how you're serving women, the women currently?
So for this 25,000 grant, we expect to have 50 disadvantaged young women. So we have the students, they can learn web and graphic design and nail art and hairdressing. But for hairdressing and nail art, we also have the component for entrepreneurship. We teach the student how to manage about finance management. And to some students, when they graduate, they decide to be their own employer. For example, nail art students, they can go to mobile nail painting, or hairdressing students, they can go to, they will go back to their province, their hometown, and open a small hair salon of themselves. Maybe they just provide hair washing or cutting, basic hair washing and hair beauty service, but they will have a...
Okay, we have time for one last question, and I can always offer one if...
How many locations are you currently offering this service?
So we have 5 locations over Vietnam, in Hanoi, Hải Dương, Đà Nẵng, Huế, and Hội An. So the reason why we choose this province to be our location project, because in this province they have a lot of job opportunities. So our focus is we not only provide vocational training, but we also do job placement. So we need to choose a location where there are high demand of job and high demand for human resource.
Okay, can I ask one very short question?
Yeah.
It's a short answer. I have only 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
What is your value proposition to the people that hire these people? How do you overcome the biases? Because sometimes some people say we don't want to hire handicapped and so on. Do you run into that problem? How do you convince people? Is it because you are able to say our people are as good at doing the job, or you have to rely on, have a heart and so on? How do you communicate your message to the employers?
The way we communicate with our employer is just by our interaction with them. We invite them to be our guest lecturer. We invite them to provide internship by making the employer feeling involved in our program. They build the rapport with our own students. And so it's true to be said that in some cases we also have to use our own relationship with the employer, saying that please take this student because he's from difficult background. But instead, the students have very strong mind, and they're committed to the work, and they will stay in the work, and they try their best to keep this work.
Well done. She did very well, didn't she?